So we'll go through the process of explaining for designers how to actually build a template in our system. So you'll notice here that here's a basic template that's been put together, and as for your customers and the designs that you do for your customers, basically you design your site in Photoshop and you would submit it to your customer would approve the design, and at that point all you really need to do is just to gather the contents of that template and put it into the system. So here's how. So let's just make an assumption that this particular site was approved by your customer, and so what we need to do now is gather the basics of this layout and put it into a template, and it can be done like this. So we'll go into My Pages, Add a Template. Once you're inside Add a Template, you can rename the template name if you'd like. We name it automatically, but you can do it if you'd like. And click on Build Your Own Template. Once the template has been assembled, what happens is you get a completely blank template with the content box in the center of the page, as you can see. Now, the content is held here as a placeholder for all of the content that goes on all of the center parts of your pages. Now, as you're in template mode, as you can see here, template mode, as you're in template mode, you're building the template that goes around the content. And the content area is what is on the inside of that template. Right? So temporarily, as we're building the actual template, let's click Hide Content so we could have a blank slate, and let's go ahead and upload our image. Click Image, Upload, browse your computer to get the template, and click Upload. Now once the template has been uploaded onto the system, I wanted to show you a few things that we'd done prior. You'll notice that the entire template is together. The only difference is that we took out the content area, all the navigation, all of the logo areas, etc., etc. And the reason why we did that is because we needed to get the general layout of the template first, which is this. Now we'll turn on the content so we could see where the content will reside on this template, which is in the white area, obviously. So click Show Content, move your content box where you want it to go, and you begin the scaling of that content now. So let's go ahead and scale it up and put it into its position like this. And that looks pretty good right there. Now we know where all of the content on all of the pages will go. You'll notice that there's a little slider box on the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Now this little drag handle where that template is going to start and stop. So anything to the right will be sliced, anything to the bottom will be sliced. So this makes a determination of exactly how wide and how tall this template's going to be. So now that we've set everything inside of the template, let's go ahead now and always preview your template. In preview mode, you'll notice that everything is perfect. So now that we have it set, let's go ahead and go in now and set our backgrounds by clicking Start Editing. And now to change the background color, which will be black, we'll click onto the background. Then when the styles come up, you just go Background Color, Black. And that's it. Now, let's go ahead and begin the content that needs to go inside the pages now, like say for instance a little floating element right here. So we'll go Image, Upload, browse our computer to pick up the little graphic that goes on the right hand side. Once that image is placed onto the page, you simply move it into position. What we need to understand here is that this particular element has to be floating on the page. So it's not going to be part of the template, it's going to be a floating element. So what we need to do is, you'll notice that anything that is part of the template, when you highlight it, has an orange checkers around it. Right? You'll notice that the background itself has it, the content area, and this image as well. Now we don't want this to be part of the template because it'll tile as the page grows longer. So we'll click onto this particular image, click onto the little nodule, and say To Foreground. Now when that's done, when you click off of it and you highlight again, you'll notice that it's green, but everything else has the dashed lines. So green, which means that it's in the foreground, and dashed lines, which means that it's in the template. So now let's go ahead and set the styles for the page now, like the text color, things like that. So click onto the background, go into your font selection and choose the color of text that you would like so. You'll notice it changed the text here, but we'll fix that in a second, right? And then on the content area, click onto the content, then click onto Styles. Now when you go into styles, basically what you're doing is you're applying styles to the entire page. And you'll notice that the way we do our styles is that all of the styles reside on the very template that you're working on. So you could actually see what the text would look like. Right? So you could go into the color selector and you can change the color. And as you can see the color as you change it within the text. Right? So we're going to go with let's go with like a rich brown on this fella right here. Yeah, like that. That looks pretty hot. Right? So now all of the entire text content area will be in this wonderful warm brown along with Arial 13 as the font set. And this is how we actually set the CSS for the site. So let's go into headings now, and we can change the heading size, color, etc. right, by simply clicking on to the color and then changing the color. Now I've already done it, and I actually like it very much, so I'll leave it where it is. But you can also change size for the size of the heading if you'd like here as well. Right? So you can also change link color. Currently right now the link color is blue with no highlights. So under normal decoration we'll choose no underline. Notice the link has been changed to no underline, and we'll choose a color that we'd like the link to be. So let's choose like a nice, let's see, yeah, like a dark red. That looks good. So now you can see the link. Now let's work on the hover where the cursor goes over the link, and choose a hover color now. So let's choose like a, I don't know, like a, let's say like a yellow maybe. Okay, maybe a little darker. There you go. That's working. Like more of a, let's go with a stronger contrast so you could really see it. Yeah, the green looks really good there. So there you go. You'll notice that I'm choosing the hover color to be green. Okay, and then you can do the active link and the visited link, but you know, there's no real need. Okay, so bullets. Bullets, you'd be able to choose a bullet image for all of your bulleted lists. So you simply upload the bulleted image and it'll use it as bullets. Now, under template slices, this is extremely important. Basically, you can build several types of templates here. So not only do you use the template itself, which is the image, and have it to be exactly this size for the entire site, but you could also set it up to where the template will grow with its content, which is how you should do it. So right here you'll notice it says height of the template will expand. That's exactly what you want, and I'll show you in just a moment. Right? But for right now it is set to where the template does not grow at all and the footer doesn't expand. And so any content that you put here, if it goes beyond it, it'll go over the bottom footer brown line that you see here on the bottom. So I'm going to choose height of the template will expand. And once I do that, I'll hit save. Now the entire template is done. So let me show you how this would apply. Right? So let's go ahead now and very quickly, before we actually do this part so that way you can see how it would work, let's go ahead now and just put in some basic content real quick. And so here's the text. So let's highlight the text and let's say Surfside. And let's make that our logo, if you will. And let's make it a nice large font so it stands out real nice, like so. And then let's put a little slogan under there now. So we'll have text container. And we'll say slogan goes here. Beautiful. And then we'll put that right under the text like so. There we have it. So now we have our logo that's been placed, and now let's go ahead and look at some of the changes that we could add to the page itself now. Now on the original layout that we had for this, let's just say experience a wonderful trip or whatever as our little slogan in the box right here. So have a wonderful trip or something. And then we can change the font to make it all fancy and cool. So we'll choose like a Georgia, and we'll make it like 32. We'll italicize that, something like that. That looks pretty good right there. Just like so. Now, let's go ahead and put in a navigation now. Navigation is very, very simple to do. All that's really needed is you go into Widgets, Navigation. We will choose never to underline the links. We'll choose a horizontal link. We'll choose text color to be white. We'll choose horizontal separator to be white as well. And the mouse over text color, we can switch it around, right? To where we could say mouse over text color will be black, but the background of that mouse over will be white. And so let's see what that could look like. So we'll hit finished and add multiple links. And let's say we do index contact about us. So we check the pages that we'll apply this to and hit continue. And let's go ahead and make it, instead of index, let's call it homepage, like so. And let's also say that we capitalize about us. And finally, contact us. So now the navigation has been placed onto the page, like so. You hit finished. Here's the navigation itself. We'll put it into place. And as you can see, there's your rollovers with the colors, etc., etc. Now, if you need to change this, it's pretty easy. You just go over to the navigation, double click. It opens up the Gidget window, and you can say Edit Properties, and then you can change the colors at will, and hit Finished. And it changes it. Now, let's go ahead and make this bold by clicking on it and hitting bold. That's how easy it is. Now the template's been applied. Let's put a piece of text on the bottom of this image here so you can see what that could look like. Just like so. And you'll notice that you have absolute freedom of movement throughout the entire template, right? So you're not restrained by any areas that you could work in or whatever. You just simply drop an image onto the page, build out your actual template, choose where your content's going to go, and then you hit publish. And that's what I'm doing right now. So let's publish this. Now, the page has been published. So how did this work? So let's go ahead and build a page now that actually has this template that we just built. So here's how simple. Go over to the top, hit New Page, and we'll call this Test Page. We'll name the page, and of course we'll put a title in. It's always good to put in your titles, keywords, and descriptions. And then we'll choose the template that we just made, which is template 7. Now you'll notice that you can choose multiple templates, but because we chose template 7, let's go ahead and do that. Now the template has been applied to the page that we just built, which is called Test Page. Now let's put some text onto the page in an image. So we'll click Image, and we'll pop an image in or whatever. There you go. Those look like 2 beach scenes. And we'll pop those in, like so. Just like that. Now, watch the footer. Remember that when we went into the style section, we had set the footer to where it would grow. Watch as the footer grows with the content. That's amazing. So basically, anything that you build can be done now. Any size, your page will automatically adapt. So you definitely want to be able to have your text to be scrollable. Now let's go ahead and put on a piece of text, if you will. And there's our text, there's our image. And so there's the makings of a new page. So that's basically how you build a template. If you have any additional pages inside the site that you've already built, you can simply go in and choose the template that you'd like to apply to that page. So here's the content area of the page, which contains these 3 objects, right? So this is the content. So you can simply go over, and if you'd like the page to be changed, you simply see where it says Page Template right here. You simply choose the template that you'd like, and it'll apply that template to the page. That's how you do templates.